McLaren and Daniel Ricciardo have mutually agreed to end his contract 1 year early, which means the 8-time race winner will leave at the end of the 2022 season. What has made Ricciardo go this far? What is the future for this McLaren superstar? Let's go ahead and start the video. Who is Daniel Ricciardo? Daniel Joseph Ricciardo is an Italian-Australian racing driver currently competing for the McLaren Formula One team under the Australian flag in the 2022 FIA Formula One World Drivers' Championship. He made his debut with the HRT team at the 2011 British Grand Prix as part of a deal with Red Bull Racing, for whom he tested under its sister team Scuderia Toro Rosso. Ricciardo's driver's license number is 3. In Formula One, he won 8 Grand Prix. Ricciardo won his first race in 2 years at the 2016 Malaysian Grand Prix, before finishing 3rd in the championship for the second time in 3 years at the 2016 Mexican Grand Prix. Since then, he has won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in 2017 and the Chinese and Monaco Grand Prix in 2018. Ricciardo signed with Renault after the 2018 season and raced for them in 2019 and 2020. He joined McLaren alongside Lando Norris for the 2021 and 2022 Formula One season. At the 2021 Italian Grand Prix, he won his first race with McLaren. Ricciardo was named a member of the Order of Australia in the 2022 Australia Day Honours after the 2021 season. Why did he decide to leave McLaren? On the eve of the Belgian Grand Prix, as Formula One resumed its summer break, Ricciardo and McLaren announced that they would compete in the final 9 races of the season together before splitting up. McLaren promises to reveal who will partner Norris in 2023 in due course. Ricciardo will do the same about his future plans, but has stated his desire to remain in F1. It's been a privilege to be a part of the McLaren racing family for the last 2 seasons, the Australian said. However, after several months of discussions with Zach and Andreas, we have decided to terminate my contract with the team early and mutually part ways at the end of this season. I still have that fire in me, says Ricciardo, who wants to stay in F1 after McLaren's departure. I'd like to thank Daniel for his dedication and contribution over the last 2 seasons, Seidel said. Regardless of the shared challenges, he has always shown up with a fighting spirit and positivity, assisting the entire team is always pushing forward. We will never forget that unforgettable race victory in Monza, which was a huge boost for the entire team. We still have a big battle ahead of us in the Constructors' Championship for the rest of the season, and we're looking forward to it with Daniel and Lando. Teammate Lando Norris also posted his message of support to Ricciardo after announcing the news. It's been a pleasure working with you these last 2 years, from that moment in Monza to the laughs we've shared outside of the car. Whatever comes next, I wish you all the best, and let's have a fantastic few months, he posted on his Twitter feed. Ricciardo is currently 12th in the driver's standings with 19 points, 57 points behind Norris after 13 races. Norris has 4 top 6 finishes this year, including a podium at Imola, with his best finish coming in 6th place in Australia. Renault was deeply hurt when Ricciardo chose to leave in 2020 and join rivals McLaren, a bitter blow given the team's similar pace and ambitions, and reconciliation never seemed to be on the table given the team's new guys. Alpine included Fernando Alonso and Oscar Piastri. However, after a bizarre series of events that saw Alpine lose Alonso and possibly Piastri, Ricciardo's return to the Renault family may suit all parties. The Alpine seat is by far the most competitive seat available in F1, with the French team currently locked in a very close battle for 4th in the Constructors with McLaren. Alpine is adamant about keeping Piastri and believes they have a contract for their reserve driver to step up and replace Alonso. However, if the contract recognition board rules in Piastri's favor, Ricciardo provides the comfort of a hungry known quantity which, on his day, is still quick. After all, Ricciardo dominated Esteban Ocon, who has been a match for Alonso in 2020, when he was one of the season's top drivers at Renault, earning 2 podiums and regaining his form from his Red Bull days. The fact that the divorce is still fresh in the mind could be a stumbling block. Can Haas hire Ricciardo? Haas appears to be a strong contender for Ricciardo, and the 8-time race winner would be a huge coup for the team, which has been looking for a high-profile signing since their F1 debut 6 years ago. According to ESPN, team boss Gunther Steiner contacted Ricciardo before the Hungarian Grand Prix. That would appear to cast doubt on Mick Schumacher's future, with Kevin Magnussen impressing in his first year back in F1 this season, and despite their close partnership and the fact Schumacher is a Ferrari junior, Haas does not have to abide by Ferrari with their driver decision. This opens the door for Ricciardo from their end, but the deal remains a long shot. Ricciardo would essentially be saying goodbye to his chances of ever winning again in F1 if he signed a long-term deal with Haas, while the financials would also appear difficult given the US team's budget. But what about the similarly Ferrari-powered Alfa Romeo? While there is no concrete evidence that Alfa Romeo is interested, they have the next most competitive seat available after Alpine, and there could be long-term benefits, with Audi's F1 entry for 2026 thought to be through Sauber, who currently runs the Alfa Romeo's team. On the other hand, Ricciardo will be 36 by the time of that potential deal, and Alfa may not want another experienced driver with ex-Mercedes driver Valtteri Bottas impressing. Zhou Guanyu hasn't had a bad rookie season either, so they might stick with what they've got. Is Williams interested in making the splash? A switch to Williams would be a significant step back for Ricciardo, as the team currently has a slower car than the Haas mentioned above. On the other hand, Williams has a lot of history and what appears to be a large budget. Doralton Capital acquired Williams in 2020, and the US owners may see Ricciardo's availability as an opportunity to make their first major signing, with Alex Albon their only signing in recent years. After all, Ricciardo is one of F1's most well-known drivers, particularly in the United States, thanks to his role in the Netflix series Drive to Survive. With Nicholas Latifi set to leave, there appears to be a seat available at Williams. Before the transfer saga began, Piastri appeared to be on his way to the Grove team on loan from Alpine in 2023. But does Ricciardo really want to start at the back of the grid? In a similar scenario at Aston Martin, he would have seen former Red Bull teammate Sebastian Vettel's motivation fade. And more importantly, is Williams even interested, or do they prefer a long-term younger option? Is he really retiring? Ricciardo, who is only 33 years old, should be in the prime of his career and has made it abundantly clear that he intends to continue. "I still love this sport," he said in a social media video posted Wednesday night. While outclassed by Lando Norris, he hasn't been a colossal failure at McLaren, often running alongside the talented Briton and winning the Italian GP last year. However, there is a possibility that Ricciardo will be forced to leave with few options in 2023. Aside from the teams mentioned above, AlphaTauri has the only other vacancy, and given that they are Red Bull's junior team, a Ricciardo move there is the least likely of the bunch. Ricciardo may be forced to look elsewhere in that case. The Australian has a strong affinity for the United States, and there are numerous series that would welcome him, including IndyCar and Formula E. By coincidence, McLaren has an IndyCar and a Formula E team. McLaren boss Zach Brown, on the other hand, says he wants Ricciardo to stay in Formula 1 next season. He's an exceptional racing driver, and it's a privilege to have Daniel drive for any team that he drives for, Brown said. Whatever the McLaren superstar decides to do with his life, we as his fans will always support him, unless he decides to do something that his fans won't find funny. Let's wait for the Belgian Grand Prix and see who comes out on top. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and share the video with all your friends.